When I first got into Buddhism, I was really confused by especially Thich Nhat Hanh. I have one of his books, and I still have it to this day, and I don't look at it anymore. But I bought it at like a long time ago in my early start of Buddhism, and when I read it, he was explaining how you could be a Buddhist and you could be any other religion, and how you could be like it's just like a philosophy how he explained Buddhism, and I was just so confused. And I don't understand why he would do that, because some people like compare him to like the Dalai Lama, like how they say that he's one of the best teachers right now. And I don't understand how he could say that, because how could Buddha never said that in the sutras? Actually, he never said that, oh, you cannot be a Buddhist and follow another path. Because when we take the three refuges, we take refuge only in the Buddha, only in the Dharma, and only in his Sangha, not anyone else. Even there's sutras that explain that we should not take refuge in spirits, gods, or any other unenlightened samsaric being. Only Buddha, an enlightened being, we should take refuge in.
Yes,
like,
you are referring now to Thich Nhat Hanh.
Yes.
Yeah. They're kind of like what I call Barnes and Noble Buddhists. So Barnes and Noble Buddhists are easy to find because they have all the best-selling books, but Barnes and Nobles will only sell certain kinds of Buddhist books. So there's a real popular one, and it's sad because even the BCA sells it, called Buddhism Without Belief.
I've read that book actually, and I've also read the book without the Heart of the Buddhist Teachings. That's the one mainly that really confused me, and the one you just said. I've also had that book.
Yeah, so Barnes and Noble Buddhists are they're the description that I give for them is kind of their intellect is kind of like a pond. It's a mile wide, but it's only an inch deep. So because they'll read like Buddhism Without Beliefs or No Mud, No Lotus or Jesus and Buddha, but then they'll read like the Tibetan Book of the Dead and have no clue what it means at all, because it's a giant book of ceremonies. So it's not very organized. Barnes and Nobles only picks certain kinds of Buddhist books that there's sort of a money-making agenda there. They'll never sell like Sensei's books. They sell very little about Shin Buddhism. And what they sell is usually by D.T. Suzuki, who was a Zen practitioner primarily. It's unfortunate. It really is.
I remember when I went to Barnes and Noble once with a friend, I was looking for books on Pure Land Buddhism. Now, most of everything they had on Buddhism was about Zen, but the only book on Pure Land Buddhism I could find was from Al Bloom. And at one time here in the West, Al Bloom was considered like the god of all matters Shin. And later on, it was revealed that he had admitted to someone he didn't even believe that Amida and the Pure Land was real. But I'd also read that book, Buddhism Without Beliefs, and it goes back to what you were saying. It's like, why should I even belong to something if you don't believe its doctrines and teachings to be real? If, Amida is not real and the Pure Land is not real, and they're just symbols for nirvana and Buddha nature, then why would I need Amida? Why would I need to say Nembutsu? I could substitute not only any Buddhist chant, but any kind of chant at all. And I understand why there are so few people that can comprehend the idea of a Buddha being an actual being, or a Buddha land as being an actual reality, because you have so many modernists who are pushing this kind of sterilized atheistic agenda, almost a self-help promotion. There seems to be an agenda to strip Buddhism of everything that makes it Buddhism. The statues, the banners, the devotion to Amitabha Buddha, and just turn it into some kind of sterilized secular meditation situation where you basically just sit at a wall and just clear your mind of everything. And that somehow has infected Western Buddhism on all fronts.
Yeah,
That's just how I see it.
It's become like you can wear Buddhism on, you know, just like you wear Adidas or Nike. It's just a fashion statement. And it goes well with the sort of progressive concepts today. We want to accept everyone. We want everybody to be exactly the same. And people who
everybody's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And everyone is correct, which is not even logically accurate at all. And it doesn't, those attempts have been done many times before, and they always have disastrous results every time. But I mean, the SGI does the same thing. There are no Buddha statues in the SGI. There's just a Gohanzen, that's it. And I've met, and then they have pictures of Ikeda and Sunesaburo Makaguchi in their house. And I think there was one time I had a friend came over and did an enshrinement, and I had like, it was kind of, I got it at a hippie shop. It was a glow-in-the-dark Buddha statue, but it was the only one I could get in Ohio, which is like the buckle of the Bible Belt. And he was like taken back, like, you can't have this Buddha statue. We don't do Buddha statues. But then at the same time, they'll chant to get a BMW. And it's like, what's going on? So it's everywhere. The modern progressive drab sameness it infects everything. Because I mean, there's books on BCA now, like one of their top sellers is "Without the Buddha, I Couldn't Be a Christian." And it's like, I want to know how many Christians are actually reading this.
Oh.
And, the SGI sells a similar version called the Baptist Teacher's Buddha, or the Baptist Preacher's Buddhist Teacher. And it's like, how many Christians are actually reading this? Because I can guarantee you probably not a lot of them are actually. My dad would not read this book.
Yes. I also have a lot of Christians friends who, for example, yes, I remember 10 years ago, I went to Buddhist Jodo Shinshu Buddhist conference in Belgium, a Jikoji temple, and I said that only those who entrust to Amida Buddha can go to his Pure Land, and that people who don't trust Amida but trust Jesus cannot go to the Pure Land, which is a logical conclusion. And almost everybody, all teachers in the room assaulted me and said, how can I say that? I discriminate people. I'm like a Nazi because I say that. and I told them, guys, my Christian friends don't want to go to the Pure Land. They don't care about that. And we are talking here about karma, about cause and effect. If you believe, if you have faith in Amida, you go to his Pure Land. If you don't have faith in Amida, you go somewhere else. It's basic Buddhism, you know. But of course, this didn't matter for them. Yeah, this is why we. Yes, please. No,
I
please,
once
please.
went to a Zen. I went with a monk to a Zen meditation group before I found Pure Land Buddhism. And the lady, I think she was Vietnamese, she might have been Chinese, who was hosting the event at her house. There was one of the members was a Christian, and she made the comment, oh yes, I see Buddha as my teacher, but I believe in God and I believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And I'm thinking, now what the hell is this? It doesn't make any sense. But she thought that was perfectly normal. And there was no problem with that. And the monk I had gone with, who was a Zen monk, he had no problem with this. He didn't speak up and talk about refuge vows or anything else. So it's ridiculously widely accepted. God and Buddha are kind of interchangeable.
Yes.
Is this an issue with, is this a product of the Mapo period? This whole kind, or is that what this
yes,
is?
it is. And these guys actually break their refuge vows. When we all, these vows that Camila also took today and Hogaku few days ago, and we all took when we said, I take refuge in the Buddha, I take refuge in the Dharma, I take refuge in the Sangha. These are vows. If you, it means that you take refuge exclusively in Amida, exclusively in the Dharma, exclusively in the Sangha. That so whenever these false teachers or false Buddhism, false Buddhists say they mix Christianity with Buddhism, they break these refuge vows. They break the refuge, the vow of taking refuge exclusively in the Buddha. They, for example, but they also mix Christian elements with Buddhist elements. So they also break refuge in the Dharma. They also, by having teachers who belong to non-Buddhist schools, they break the refuge, the vow of taking refuge in the Sangha. That's very important. One more thing. One more thing. Dennis also wrote, and he said, Amida objectively exists, an immutable fact. Can Amida or His Grace manifest through Sangha? I think so. Waiting for signs, and here they are. Here is the Sangha. I have no doubts or powers or desires. I have no desire for other path, just faith and the Sangha. In this simplicity and grace, there is nothing else to seek. Thank you, Dennis. Namo Amida Butsu. So yes, Namo Amida Butsu. So yes, if the role of the Sangha is to preserve the Dharma and transmit the Dharma, so that people can hear the Dharma and entrust to Amida. So if the Sangha is composed of people of true faith, then yes, that Sangha can receive the blessings of Amida and can be a link in Amida's chain of compassion. Yes, this is why we have Amidaji. This is the role of Amidaji. We were tired of all that modernist bullshit, and we said enough is enough. Let's do something good and true, you know. So we don't accept such freaks that want to change Buddhism according to their personal frustrations. No, we are here devoted to the Dharma. We put the Dharma higher than us, and we are servants of the Dharma and servants of sentient beings. And we transmit this medicine given by the Buddha to sentient beings. And we add nothing from our illusory personality to this Dharma.